I think you're going to feel attacked by this episode.
This episode, I'm going to feel attacked.
You're going to feel attacked by the topic.
Okay.
The topic is, I'm so moody.
What kind of topics you bring up? Huh? I must say a disclaimer, she just brings topic up. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just responding to my daughter.
We're just having fun. We're just having a little kiki.
Sometimes people think as though I know this subject.
No, we're just kikiing.
Kikiing. Okay, it's kikiing. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's
Moody.
talk about moodiness. Being moody. Being too reactive to your emotions.
No, that's not moody.
Okay, then
Moody
tell me.
means I'm not aligned. I'm not in the space. You see, in the earlier episode, we talked about meditation, right? You know what is meditation? To line yourself up to, Many times we do things we are not ready for. Mood means, actually mood is a study or a recognition. Am I there? Let's say I'm not in a space to listen to somebody. You try talking to me, I'm going to have a response. And that response you'll call, I'm moody. That means I'm not in the mood, right? And moodiness is you have suffered insensitivity. Like when you look at somebody, you know whether they're in the space to talk about it or not. You know what I mean? But when it goes out of hand, when every time you can't line yourself, then you suffer this state called moodiness. I think it's like going to the gym. I give an example. When you go to the gym, the most important is warm up and pre-gym activity. You kind of psych yourself up. Okay, I'm going to do this. Then you do the warm up. You get your blood flowing. Like in golf, we do pre-swings. We're going to swing a couple of times just to get the muscle loose. Then I'm in that space. So is moodiness a state of inner split? Is the absence of moodiness, you are one? Have you ever had the moment that you're on? Every part of you is on. There's no resistance. Then you are not moody. You are on. You are engaged totally.
Like when you have to show up for work, when you're on stage, something like that.
But even then, there are times you have to do it. There are times you are there. Like I remember when I'm writing a book, sometimes for weeks I keep the computer open, I on the word, I know what I have to write, the subject I have to explore, and I just sit and nothing happens. Suddenly all comes together and I'm like, I can write for 8 hours without. Other times it is like pulling teeth. So is moodiness my insensitivity? Is moodiness, I am not aligned? So being moody also tells you that you are not in that space. You should get into that space. Maybe a preparation is needed, a pre is needed. I think we live in a world that we want to force. Like sometimes I put a painting up, it takes me 3 weeks to start. Like there's a painting I want to do of Magnus. I got the picture, I got everything. I'm like, I have an idea. Now we got to go and sketch, put it up, look at it. And suddenly one day I'm spending 18 hours painting. Right? But we must admit at all time we are not in the mood for all things.
Yeah.
Very good. So what is moodiness? Could it be you being violent to you? Moodiness, could it be people are insensitive to you? Or is moodiness a way you rule people to? It also is a weapon. You frighten people all the time.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So what is moody? You want to understand what is moody? Moody means mood. Mood also, this very beautiful thing when you study astrology, what is this moment good for? They say, this moment is good to fall asleep. This moment is good to do this. Yesterday was an eclipse, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, the astrologers will say, oh my God, it's eclipse. My mother called me and said, do not go outside. I'm like, okay, what's happening outside? She said, it's eclipse. So
Wait, has your mother ever had COVID? No, right?
My mother had.
I don't think so.
I don't think COVID had a chance.
No, because as you better listen to her, she said to pray to Shiva. If you pray to Shiva, you're not going to get COVID. And she never got COVID.
Well, that's my mom. Einstein would have trouble with my mom. She would know more. And she will agree with Einstein about relativity. All her problems are because of her relatives. So
Okay. All right.
okay. Now let's see. What are we in mood for? I think mood is sensitivity to the moment. I think we are very insensitive to the moment. What you are ready for. Whenever you do things you're not ready for, whenever you're made to do things your brain has not caught up to, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I think that is abuse. I think what you need to do is become very sensitive to you, to know when you can put yourself in the space to do what you need to do. Like many times when I'm running my meditation or when I'm beginning to teach, I sometimes wait a day, with people. Ready? I do the preliminary. Okay, can we do this? And they have traveled thousands of miles to study with me or to learn with me. And even when they arrive here, are we there, guys? Slowly, let's get there. Let's warm up. And then suddenly everyone is there. That's when that entire thing explodes. So, one part of moodiness is I must not be violent to me. Anba, this I must expose, no, Anba. Apshi will come home and the mother wants to discuss with us something and suddenly say, I'm not ready to deal with you now. I've seen her do that. My hair stands at the back of my neck. What is that? You're saying, nope, I'm not talking to you now. What is that?
I'm not in the mood.
Ah, very good. But your mother doesn't give a damn. I think mood is the most beautiful thing. It's the rhythm of life. I think the mood is amazing.
But your mood, right? It can also spoil things. You can spoil things for yourself.
Yep.
And it can spoil things for other people.
So you must not let the mood is the only thing that controls you. So for the mood not to control you, you must be aware of your mood. Right? Like today when I was coming here, I was tired. I didn't have enough sleep last night. I'm a bit moody. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, let's do this shit. Okay. But we got there. It took a while. I didn't use that mood to spoil what I need to do today. I woke up to do it. That means, like there are days I go to the gym, I don't feel like lifting, but I do the preliminary and then okay. So there's also your part, but it cannot be so much you rape you.
Yeah.
So within reason. So what is it? Is mood sensitivity?
It can be.
No, it has to be. It should be elevated state of sensitivity of how you are being. Because there's so much happening. Hormones running, this is running, that is running. You got all kinds of things going on. You didn't have enough sleep. Your blood sugar is low. Or so many things. But what we are talking about is, can I take control of it? Can I live in a way that it doesn't determine me? Moody people, like what you said, will mess it for themselves up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. But not paying attention to mood is also a problem, right? So we have two extremes. Not paying attention, you will abuse you. Exaggerating it, it rules you. This is when you must step in. Right? Like for you have incredible capacity to prepare. You prepare. When you're prepared, you are ready. You can do. I probably can jump in spontaneously. I probably have that ability. Probably. So now, what do you want to talk about mood? It exists. We are not ready for everything all the time.
But you know how some people, right? They really they sit in this shitty, bad, horrible mood. They isolate everybody around them. You suddenly feel like you're walking on eggshells around their mood.
Yeah.
And then...
No, that they're using that to abuse you and themselves.
But they themselves hate that they're in that mood.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
I don't want to be conclusive, but I think there's a kind of a ticket, I'm not in the mood. And maybe it's clinical. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they have a hormone off, maybe serotonin is low or dopamine is messed up. I don't know. I don't want to be so careless about saying it, but for most often, give it a try. So we have mood. We have to acknowledge it. We must not let it rule us. We also cannot rape it. So you have to find a way to get ready. Right? Let's say your mother is going to a concert or something. She says, come, let's go. I'm like, no, I will never get there to be in a 1,000 people crowd. I'm like, please, I don't want to come.
You're boring.
I know. I don't mind. The only way I can go is if I can go for her and tolerate that nonsense for a while. Sit for an hour or two.
It's literally one of the things that makes people, at least it makes me feel the most alive to be in front of live music like that. Oh my
God. To me, can I watch the recording?
It's not the same.
No, see, it's good for you. I can go. I will only survive it. You will thrive in that. That's how I am. That's how you are. I'll go for you. I'll sit there and listen to somebody screaming up and down. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I know. A lot of people are going to make fun of me, but it's how I am. But I can go fishing and sit looking at a fishing rod for 8 hours. You probably can't last 30 minutes.
We can't last on the boat.
You can't last on a boat. So I want to be very, very cautious. There are also predisposition. There are also condition. But at any one time, am I on top of it? Because you can be a victim to mood. Many times, I've seen depression. They don't have the mood to get out of bed, They don't have mood to get out of bed. They have no mood to do anything. And these are clinical. And then they take some medication, some supplements, they do some therapy, they pull themselves out. So what is mood? What is there? What is mood? What can rule you? Right? What is mood? My energy field to meet the moment. If I don't have the energy to meet that moment, I am not in the mood. Right? But I think what you want to talk about is how people are victimized by their mood, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people weaponize it. Like sometimes people walk in and they're angry. I'm like, so what I had to do with it?
Yeah, but it's also like for me, right? I'm very reactive to other people's moods.
Yeah.
I can be I am. I try not to be, but it's like, can you guys all be happy so I can be happy too?
True. That means you are being bullied by that. And you must know that is the lack of your own mood.
Yeah.
Your mood is everybody must be happy for me to be happy. So that's your mood. That's how you are. That's how you operate. So you must take caution of it.
Yeah.
And if you have people that will not support that, there's the people you stay away from.
Yeah.
Right?
But how do you, I'm not the only one who feels that way. I talked to my other friend. She was also like, her husband would say to her, why do you do that? Everybody is in a bad mood now. You're trying to make everybody in a good mood so you can be happy. I was like, oh, really? And she's like, I don't know why I do that. Yeah. She's like, I try not to do it anymore. And I said, I also try not to do it. You be in your mood. I'm happy. Like, don't enter my
No, you have a sensitivity, You are very aware of the other. You are not a narcissistic person, which is the right thing. We should be. If we live in a collective society, we have to be aware of each other. How do you be happy when somebody is sad? How the hell do you do that? You're very insensitive, right? But become sensitive enough that it doesn't overwhelm you.
Do you have to detach?
Yeah, that will be a beautiful word. I don't know, Ma. You have to figure out how to do this. This is your journey, This is how you find out. You got to figure out a coping mechanism. I don't think there is a universal answer. Because a lot of your questions are about people, about your surrounding.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm perfect. Like, I don't really need to ask for myself. Like, I'm good.
Of course you're perfect. No. I think what I want to point out is you probably are thinking, if I set my surrounding, everything is okay. No. Might not be the only answer. You probably have to look at you and say, how can I put myself right? You see, if everybody is happy, I can be happy. It can be a dependency, So a lot of your question is about the world, the people, and you seem to be experiencing you by the effect of people. Maybe you should start thinking, how can I affect the world? I think you are minusing you. I think this question is coming because you are not being self-aware, that you are here to. For me, if somebody is sad, okay, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Now you come with me because I'm happy.
Mm.
If I go with you, I'm going to be sad. I'd rather you come with me because I'm happy.
Mm.
I have a feeling you have a tendency to minus you.
What? Me? What are you talking about?
No, you know why? When you're with people, when you care, you tend to forget you. That's when you must remember you are there too.
Mm.
So this question becomes very easy when you remember you are there. The mood is not you, it's what you are experiencing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are experiencing the mood, then you have some say over the mood, right? I think there is a deep need to be absent and to allow the bigger dynamic to take over. You are there too. You are still in the driver's seat, you are still driving. But to say that you are there, not only you are there, the mood is there too. So all in proportion, right?
But okay, let's go back to the idea of mood, right? Can we like say that mood and emotion are the same thing?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Or like
Maybe
mood.
emotion affects the mood, or the mood affects the emotion.
And if we are so affected by our mood, because like you said, right, I can wake up and be like, I'm in a bad mood today, but I'll be like, you know what, I'm just gonna like take a minute and I'm gonna set my head right. I don't want to start my day like this, and I'm gonna try and flip it because I can detach from my mood and try to do that. But a lot of people are like, there are times when even I'm they're almost like, this mood is overwhelming me. It's how I'm gonna act.
I think I have an insight for you,
Yeah.
Ramshi. I think you know what is moody. The bad part of mood is maybe a day or two you were not sensitive to you. You were not there. Something overwhelmed you and your system is kicking in. You're not talking about a good mood. You're talking about moody.
A bad mood, yeah.
Bad mood. I don't feel like it. I think it is the effect of you not paying attention to you prior. That you minused you and the outside overwhelmed you, and now the system is reacting to it. So it probably is not your fault, it's your surrounding, but how you are at fault is you choose to be minused.
But how do you take control of your mood? Good mood or bad mood, either way.
Always remember, mood is not you, it's what's happening to you. The moment you remember that, you can take control.
But I think sometimes, is there something further we can do? How can we like detach from that moodiness?
Then you're entering realm of meditation, the realm of doing something, realm of being calm, realm of being seated. But start with this, for this conversation, you are not your mood, you are experiencing a mood. In knowing that, you take control of that mood. But I'm also saying, the bad mood is days or prior to this, you were not sensitive to you. You didn't mount the response. I think mood has something to do with your proactive is low. When you don't mount the response, later it kicks in.
How do you grow that sensitivity to yourself?
At all time, remember you are here.
I have a friend, a really good friend of mine, and
of course she has a friend, Anba. She always has a friend.
I always have a friend. I always use my friends as my examples. Thanks, guys. But this is a person I can see is very suppressed, highly suppressed person. Always drinking, always partying, always smoking. Can handle themselves when they're drunk and all that. So nobody perceives it as a problem because they're not puking, passing out, all of that. But I can see that this person is suppressing literally everything. They don't talk about how they feel, this and that, and this person's also gone through like a big loss in their life, and there is no sensitivity to themselves.
You see, that's why therapy is beautiful. Therapy brings sensitivity to you. If you can be sensitive to you, you don't need a therapist because you can be in touch. So this person somewhere found a survival skill, which is not, of being insensitive to themselves. And that is playing out. They are denying that you are here. It's like this. If I look at something, I must acknowledge what I'm experiencing looking at it too. Right? I just don't have to go with how everybody's like. I go to a painting exhibition, everybody's saying, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. There's a red dot with a yellow line. And everybody goes, oh my God, can you see the postmodern expressionism? I'm going like, okay. I'm acknowledging what I might feel stupid. Maybe they see something I don't. But I'm acknowledging. So could it be what you're talking about is, the real subject is, why do we fail to acknowledge ourselves? Why we are not taking note of what is happening? Why we are not detecting the slightest movement within us? Why aren't we doing that is the question. You know why? Most often something else is more important. You are here. Something is happening to you. Do you know one of the things I saw when I was in Sweden? I had a chance to ride horses, in Bali too. And I was studying a little bit about the horse therapy. You know why horses are so important? You have to be sensitive to you, because the horse is sensitive to you.
Because the horse is a prey animal. That's why.
And it's actually feeling you.
Yeah,
it's
so you have to
feeling
be
you how you feel you.
You have to be calm around
there was
horses.
this horse, belonged to Maria. That horse's name is Timbre. It is a Spanish fighting horse. And according to her, it doesn't like guys, doesn't like male, and it doesn't let anybody ride it. You can't even touch it. So I told Maria, I said, do you mind if I try? So every day I go give it apple. And it took a long time, And it used to be in a barn. So I'll bring the apple, it will come and it will stop there. It will not come near me. And then I'll drop it on the ground. And slowly, one day, something happened. I walked up, gave it to his mouth, and walked around it and walked away. And I went like, yes, we crossed it. Yeah. And from that day, I could touch the horse, hug the horse, and eventually she let me ride the horse. She said, nobody rides this horse. And I wrote. Now, I don't know how happy he was, but what was that? He was actually looking at me. Like how I was not sure. And there was one point I said, hell with it lah. He wants to bite me or kick me, I take it lah. I trusted me to be with that horse, and I think that's why. And that is why the horse therapy is so beautiful. It creates a sensitivity over you that the other is reading. You see how you all live, and you get excited. You have seen girls go out and party or something. They forget what they are going through, because they're so invested in impressing somebody. You are there too. That's why I created the ABC. I am, you are, the space is there. I'm also observing the observer. I'm watching what is going on here. I don't have to act on it. I'm detecting somebody is saying. I'm also looking at my own internal signal. So you might have many friends who just want to be cool, want to fit in. They numb what they are feeling.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's okay to say it or to feel it, but I would never go, I don't know what the pain is that's so hard for them to acknowledge that.
No, but this goes back to childhood. It's like you are somewhere, everything going on, somehow your gut's like, I'm not comfortable, walk out. Let's say you override it. Your system is screaming. It's going to come out as Moody. So every time you allow yourself to be violated, and violation is when you don't allow yourself to acknowledge what is happening, and what is happening might be right or wrong, but you need to acknowledge it. You understand? I used to practice this, those days I learned from some Zen people. You walk 5 kilometers in about, 2 hours or something, 2, 3 hours. You walk very slowly, one step at a time, very quietly you walk, sometimes reciting a mantra or something. The whole idea behind it is to be so quiet that you hear yourself. You're so quiet, you're detecting all the signals the body is giving. It's almost like an animal, you're so alert. It's so alert to sit down and I once had a chance, the Royal London Circus, many 30 years ago. And somehow I made friends with some guys inside there. And I got a chance to hang out with the lions. And these are tame lions, but They are lions, the big guys. He said to me something, Nanba. I said, you want to go near, but remember the lion is looking at you, how you are with you, he said. It's not looking at how you are with the lion. It's looking at you and how you are. You better be there and be true to you, then it will not react. I remember this female lion came up. They let off the cage. I'm like, don't do it, man. It came out, Apshi, and it came look right in my face. I'm like, stay. And then he just lied on my lap and was purring, slobbering. It is somehow, I'm just using this as an example. Are you in touch with you? Do you know almost everybody is saying, you don't have to be in touch. Why you be so sensitive? To me, be a bit moody. I think you should be very aware of your moods. It's all information is giving to you. It's your brain kicking in. And I think not paying attention to your mood collapses as a state of being moody.
And I also think that there are fixes, right, for your mood. Like, I'm a hangry person.
Right.
So I eat breakfast.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. But I also think mood is when you are not living, being in touch. You're not letting your system wake up to do what it has to do. And it takes time, It's like if you take a golf shot for an instant and you look at the distance, you walk up and down, you see the pros, they'll look, they'll come back, they'll test swing. And then they feel like, okay, I'm ready. Actually, most beautiful is archery. If you're not in that right space, you can't shoot, right? So mood, you can say, is like your aura, your energy that you're holding.
When I have my hives, for those listening, chronic hives, I get them all the time. And for many years, for the first year I had it, I did not understand it at all. They would just come all the time. And when you get hives on your body makes you feel anxiety. It makes you anxious because they say, hey, you're having a reaction, react. But because my hives are not, I don't have an allergy, they're just like chronic, there's no reason for me to react. But it's what your body tells you. They're like, hey, go into action. Something can happen. But down the line, I learned that for me, my hives come when I don't sleep enough, when I don't eat enough, when I don't.
And when you are not sensitive to you.
When I'm not sensitive to me. So as much as it's irritating to have this physical reminder, it also serves as a great reminder of like, hey, take care of yourself.
No, be sensitive. Take note. You don't have to act on it.
Yeah.
Whatever ripple that happened inside, you are taking note.
And it made me very, very, very aware of every single thing in my body. That I can feel it and I can know it.
No, but now being aware of the body is one thing. Be aware of everything that is happening to you. You must be one of those person who live in a way, and I think you are. It's okay, come on, let's all get together. No. The group is good. You are not to minus you for the group. You are there in the group too.
Yeah.
To acknowledge I'm here, not to make it only about you, but also not to dismiss you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're talking about. It's not mood, It's not right when you are absent. You are here, you have an opinion, your system is mounting a response. Not to be sensitive to it is the error. So maybe one of the things that almost everybody can do, acknowledge you are here, acknowledge your thought. My father used to train me in this, At one point when I was a kid, like maybe 10, 11 years old, every Friday we get together. He will have a meeting, just family sitting. He will start a topic. It will be political, anything he will start. And we all must have our opinion. You cannot quote anybody. He said, what do you think? When I say this, what is your internal reaction? So we were trained to look at what is going on inside of me. I'm not saying it's right, but I was trained to acknowledge what's going on. How do I look upon this? He was a big Socrates follower, so he's into that philosophy. I think you are not paying attention to you and thinking what is happening around is the error.
It's almost like I am just thinking that, this is how I feel. Don't know why. But there is a why.
And to be very sensitive, to be very present, to be very here, to be in touch. You see, we have this thing called fight and flight. Whenever that comes, you are not paying attention to you. That's why when you're running, you don't even feel all the cuts and bruises. You only feel it later. That is emergency time, you minus self-awareness. But on other time, you must be very self-aware. You must know what is going on. It's almost like driving a car, at all time you're in touch. Not that you're not listening to music, talking to your friend, but you are there. You're paying attention, right? Like flying a plane or something. You are really paying attention to everything. I think the absence of that, the breakdown of that, erupts as moodiness. So can I say one of the aspects of moodiness is you are not paying attention, now you're pulling a tantrum, or your system is pulling a tantrum.
So basically, to summarize, it's okay to be grumpy. Just make sure you know why you're grumpy.
No, not even to know why she's talking about me. It's not to know why I'm grumpy. At least acknowledge I'm grumpy. Not to blame you for the reason for me to be grumpy. But in my case, it's you. She puts me in this show and asks me all kinds of silly questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Terima kasih.